Straight up, Ian caught to the camp of Kennedy Agyapong in Japan. Kennedy Agyapong is one of the few people who are contested for the NPP flag bearer race come 31st of January 2026. Ken could win, Baumia could win. And then I posted a post be our Pinaxtv community, and we saw says so far almost 1,000 and I posted so far, and so far no 4,000 I voted so far. The vote was between Kennedy Agyapong Baumia. If Ken Elusu NPP no quite an independent, so you match him Ken Baumia a seeding Kitia. Why and I'll be voting man. So far, Ken Agyapong is leading with a 40%. Baumia is the last. A seeding Kitia is in the middle, so you can still go and vote. But then Ken face the NPP vetting committee, and you see Ken has been touting some idea of Asian miracle. You see, history actually said after the World War II, Japan, which was a developing nation, became a developed nation became a developing nation, which means no more stress. You see, because when they refused to surrender to Americans, America dropped 2 atomic nuclear bombs on Japan, the 2 cities, Hiroshima and Nagasaki, it destroyed everything. And based on that, some country, they retrogressed. But then fast track after the World War II ended, Japan, conceded, within the next 2 decades, 20 years, Japan became the second world largest economy. Best in everything. How did they do it? And Ken Agyapong say the theory of Asian miracle applied. Now, Ken has gone to face the vetting committee. DNC Ebra Oko face the vetting committee in Parliament. We have this particular video. Something also did happen when Ken had a summit with UPSC. But before then, exactly what really did happen because this whole thing I was here.
Second time coming to such a vetting, was it any different from the first time you came?
No, not really. I was prepared. So I believe I answered all the questions, and they know I'm ready to be president of this country. Yeah.
What were your major takeaways from today's session?
So they really wanted to know why I want to be president and my vision for the country, as well as the party.
Okay.
So I enumerated a couple of points and how I'm going to address some problems. So basically that was the interview. They know I've been true and true party man for so long. So I didn't face any serious questions, or they didn't antagonize me because they know my potential already. But they asked tangible and reasonable, I would say reasonable questions. They were not hostile to me, and I was free to answer their questions.
I imagine you plan to use the Asian model to develop Ghana.
I said it there too. I told them and explained what I mean by Asian model. I've seen some proof. Let me explain further. The Asian model, what they did that time when they decided to compete with Europe and America was that they identified potential talents and potential businessmen and funded their projects like Daewoo, Hyundai, Samsung in Korea, for instance. They made conscious efforts to support them by giving them loans. And the loans, what they did was that if Mr. Honorable Kwaku Kwarteng decides to build this building, they will ask for the cost of the raw materials and where he's going to get the raw materials from. The government then sends the money to the company manufacturing the raw materials. And they will give you a couple of months. If you tell them the imports or your raw materials or whatever equipment you're going to use will arrive in 3 months. In 3 months, the following week, 3 months, 1 week, we are there to inspect if indeed you receive the equipment. Now, what they do is that the government partners the individual, the private sector. So they will win themselves off when you finish paying the loan. Then it becomes your business. And in business, the most difficult part is the capital. So if government supports you to get the capital and you run it well, you become a millionaire. This is how they've been able to expand their businesses. India, Dubai, all the Asian, that is how the model they use. And I think because Ghana, we don't have capital for our businesses. Set up businesses, initially they are very tough. They lack finance.
So that is Kennedy Agyapong explaining the Asian model or the Asian miracle at Air Coso. And trust me, I think it really makes sense because you need to be in Tubam and could do America level. We need to start somewhere because Asia, Singapore, China, Dubai, they were once at the pedestal and they were once at the tip, of development. They were not far, not many Africans, so team. But then fast track, they were able to know a model to use to be on par with Europe and America. And now, Singapore, Malaysia, Dubai. Gani Nibia took on holidays at Dubai. FO, Nana, Dubai was a desert. Na Obekroma, NPP, NDC, and Obia Boni China, near Kwaku protest near Janos. Anyways, Agyapong also was recently at a summit. Now, it began a question. One student asked a very smart, sensible question. And Ken's response definitely has really triggered nerves in a positive way. In the video,
thank you very much for asking the question. My aim of becoming the president and also what I'll do for the youth, the answer is simple. As businessmen, I've come to realize that the youth are not given opportunities. When you talk of youth employment, all those agencies are not going to assure the future of the youth unless the government creates enabling environment, smooth business, so that the youth will take advantage of it. Here, the youth is over-dependent on government for their survival, and no youth depending on the government alone can survive or be a rich or successful person. You have to take your destiny to your own hands and make sure that you take advantage of what is going on and move ahead. Don't wait until the government gives you assistance. So what I'm also going to do is very challenging for the youth to have startup capitals. We shall make sure we give startup capitals to the talented youth who want to venture into business.
So that is Kennedy Agyapong now, or explaining some of his visions he has. Now, in all, no, in some way, of course, no, definitely, everyone is looking. How are the fans? How are the people viewing Agyapong? Well, at this particular summit, I can call and OPNH is a month for be edinichi. Yenshe video, we continue with the whole issue.